morning, let's just chat for a few moments here. And the thought that's on my mind today is timing. And I know we hear a lot about timing, but I was thinking about it today in respect to what we're doing here at NuWTR and the potential that we have to do something great here. And, when we think about timing, it can be the difference, taking advantage, because it's not just timing, it's what you do with the timing. And timing really, and I know John has mentioned this several times, that this is like right now a beachfront real estate. What does he mean by that? Well, try to buy beachfront real estate anywhere in the world right now, and the costs are, you try to get into whether it be even the beachfront up here in Toronto area, living on the lake, the prices, Oakville area in the millions of dollars. Anywhere, the cottage country, you go to get on the water, and it's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So anywhere you want waterfront property, it's expensive. You either that or you were one of the lucky ones that bought it years ago and got it for a song, and now it's worth a fortune. In much the same way, we have a business here. When we talk about beachfront real estate, we have some positioning here that people would, literally cry for in a year, 2 years from now, because they won't be able to be positioned like we're positioned at the forefront of this whole new trend. And new opportunities arise that enable us to enter the market and then to be able to monetize humongous amounts of people. And so I was thinking about this today, and you look at things like, who would have ever imagined that something like Airbnb, okay, for instance, let me take that as an example. Airbnb right now has risen to staggering heights. As profitability goes, it's tremendously profitable, and investors really didn't know if it was going to work in the initial stages, and now it's created some huge, rewards for those who did. I remember I was with Brian Smith in a company a couple of decades ago, and Gord was in it as well. And we got a chance to introduce a functional beverage to the world, and that was about timing, and that was really the beginning of the functional beverage industry. And that being positioned at the right time enabled people to make fortunes. There are people made millions of dollars being at the right place at the right time. And so timing is extremely important. One individual I was reading this morning, he said that when he analyzed everything, he did a TED Talk. Bill Gross was his name. And he talked about all the different elements of a company, whether it be funding, the business model, your idea, the team. But the biggest percentage, he said, was timing was 42% of the difference between success and failure. Timing is the winner. And so I want you to recognize today, all of us, and I want to remind myself of the critical moment that we're finding ourselves right now, this very critical moment of launching off a company. And I have personally witnessed this. People who take action, this can be the difference between $10,000 a month and $100,000 a month. It's not just about timing, but I like what Abraham Lincoln said. He said, even if you're on the right track, if you're just sitting there, you're going to get run over. So it's not just about being on the right track, but it's about doing something when you're in that moment. This is the opportunity that we have to marshal our thinking, all of our forces together as a human being, and to be able to focus and concentrate and kick this off in a way that is effective. I want to remind ourselves today that we're in this critical moment. We have this brilliant opportunity in front of us. So let's analyze this. Do people need this product? Well, according to my research, and I started doing it, I went through a few documents, even the 1936 Senate committee review, that was the article that they put together, which said 99% of Americans are mineral deficient. The soils are depleted. So do people need this? Yes. Do kids need it? Yes. Do the aged need it? Everyone needs this product. This is a global issue that we've got going on right now, and there's an awareness that we're going to help peak to the world here on what is essential. So NuWTR is positioned with this proprietary extraction technology. Here we're getting our source from 40 feet below the bogs near Ottawa, Ontario, and we're tapping into some plant material that's over 60,000 years old. That blows me away when I hold that glass in my hand and I watch the smokiness of the water filter through. I'm thinking, this is over 60,000 years old. Some plants that are extinct, I'm taking in the energy, the sunlight, all the elements from that era we're getting to ingest into our body, and it's impacting people in such profound ways that is pretty darn exciting. So yes, there's a need for that. And when we talk about history, I remember people talking about the functional beverages. Oh, people will never buy expensive juice, or they'll never, nobody. Matter of fact, I remember talking to the number one earner of a company, and I called him to prospect him one time when we were doing functional beverage, and he said, Rob, what you're doing, that'll never work. People will never pay $50 for a bottle of a beverage bottle. He said, it won't happen. You won't succeed. And so, you got to let the naysayers, as one guy used to say, the dogs bark, but the caravan moves on. Let the dogs keep barking. Let's move on. We're looking for people who are ready to make a significant shift in their health. We've got something else on our plate today that Brenda mentioned to me. And I was literally astounded by this. Maybe you've heard of this, maybe you haven't. But I was shocked when Brenda told me this morning, that it was on a television show she was watching this morning, a news program. And the title of this article, and I'll put it out for you, is that scientists are working on a pill for loneliness. Just like we have pills for depression and anxiety, they say modern life has led to greater isolation, which can fuel all kinds of disorders. And now they're working on this pill for loneliness, because people, even though there's social media out there, they're still tremendously lonely. What I love about our business model, and talk about timing, is that not only do we have a product that can shift people's financial world and also shift and transform their well-being, but we've got a social community, a social commerce here where people can tie in and actually link arms with one another to make global impact. So I think it's really important. We talk about meeting tonight in Toronto. Why is that important? Because so many people are lonely. I knew this from pastoring a church. I pastored a church, I think, 1984, I think the 1996, I'm forgetting exactly, 1980, maybe 1994. It was 12 years I pastored a church. And a lot of people are part of a church because they're looking for that social outlet. They want to be able to connect with other people who maybe think the same way, or at least, they're hospitable and you have fun together, maybe have a few meals together. The social connection is so important. And so we talk about our business, thinking about the multifaceted beauty of this industry called network marketing, and especially NuWTR. Not only can we represent a product that we can be so extremely proud of, that it's organic and it's from Mother Earth and it's all natural and it's not a man-made product. Not only do we have that, but we've got a financial reward system, and beyond that, we've got this beautiful social environment where people, we're building a community together to thrive across the world, where we can help people, connect with others. So I got to tell you that I am really excited today to be partnered up with you. I'm glad that you're here today, because I think if we take action, and I was thinking about this the other day, it doesn't matter. I've been over 30 years in the industry, but that doesn't matter one iota. if I don't do anything with what I know. In other words, I can be the greatest whatever in the world, but if I never do it, it doesn't matter that I think I'm the greatest or I can do this, that, or the other thing. We have to move out onto the world stage and use what we have, what you know. You don't have to worry about doing what you don't know. Do what you do know right now, and then as you begin to do that, you'll begin to learn other things. So take advantage of this. It doesn't matter that you've been around the industry for a long time if you're not actually taking action on what you know. And that means we're exposing this to people and we're following up with people. We're moving them into the system here with what we've got at NuWTR. Why? So we can impact their health and impact their wealth. And what you want to be doing is sharing your story with people. And people resonate. Stories have been passed down since the beginning of time. They sat around fires and they told the story of their grandfather, their grandmother, what they did and how they crossed the West. All those kind of things. Share your story with people. What you're excited about, what you're genuinely excited about. And I think people will catch that too. So I think we've got on one of the master distributors here with us today, Mr. Brian Smith, out of Portland, Oregon, joining us today from Toronto. You're in Toronto. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, Rob, and thank you for inviting me here on the call this morning to share the great message that you just expressed. Wow, it is powerful. Timing and action. You know, we were fortunate enough in the 1996 to catch a tremendous, great opportunity that brought a new functional beverage to the market, and it was a product we had to do some education on. And we are so fortunate here that with the timing that we had at that point in time was just incredible for what we saw how that market developed. We had to develop that market, but we have a product here that everybody needs. Everybody knows it. Everybody understands it. And our timing here could not be more perfect to get this message out because we do have a mineral deficiency problem. We have a situation here that we have the answer to. And we're really fortunate to be sitting right here in what I call the catbird seat, where we can see things starting to develop and get that message out and share it. And there is no time like the present moment. And I'm really excited here to be a part of this great movement. And again, to take the proper action, which is just to open your mouth, share your story. And somebody asked me, what's the secret? And I guess it's OPM, open your mouth, share the story, explain to people and share your excitement, your enthusiasm. Be the example of what's happening. A great thing to have here today, to be able to meet everybody. I'm just excited, Rob, to be here in Toronto, meet everyone tonight, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys and really seeing this thing unfold. And it's a great, great adventure ahead of us. So thanks, Rob.
You bet. Thank you, Brian. And you notice it's hot here in Toronto. It's we're getting it hot here. We want to get this environment hot for our opportunity of NuWTR, building towards our November the 2nd event. Mark that off in your calendar right now, November the 2nd. Don't plan anything for the 1st or the 2nd, because we are going to rock the Toronto region here with the NuWTR opportunity. We're expecting about 500 people to come out. It's going to be sensational. So let's start building towards that. And as many people as you have in the seats, expect exponential growth from that moment on. So right now we've got about 10 weeks that we're building towards. This is our time. Quit, and I want to encourage you, stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting your abilities. Stop listening to those voices that want to have you slow down or step back or doubting whether you can do this anymore or again. You have to be able to put that aside. I read a book years ago, Brian Singer, he's a friend of Robert Kiyosaki's, and it was about championship team building. And he said the biggest factor is psychological fitness, is that are you able to put behind you the mistakes, the losses, the problems of the past, and get up again. And you think about this in baseball or hockey, many people rave about Babe Ruth being the greatest home run hitter or hitter ever in the league, but he was also, most people don't know that Babe Ruth, who played for the baseball league, National Baseball League, he was also the greatest strikeout guy. He struck out more than anybody else, but somehow when he got up to bat, he was able to put that behind him and focus on the task at hand. And I want to encourage you today that put behind you any of those thoughts, that have been disturbing your psychological fitness. Just like we have physical fitness, we have mental fitness, and it's the ability to deal with past failures and those negative voices of despair and hopelessness that we have to put behind us and really get razor sharp on what we need to do today. You see, if you're so consumed looking in the rearview mirror, there's a great chance you're going to have an accident coming up ahead of you because you're so focused looking in the rearview mirror, you're not paying attention to the road ahead. So I want you to get your eyes off the rearview mirror and get them clearly focused on tonight and November the 2nd. Let those voices come, those little voices that want to move you away and keep you in that place of safety and just ineffectiveness and non-activity. Put those aside. Let's focus. Take advantage of this timing that we have with this phenomenal product, and let's make something great happen.